How about a 12-ton Ramsey mounted to the front of the frame rails, poking out from under the bottom of the fenders? Maybe some 5-ton Rockwell's I-beam frame. Large suspension. Yeah, let's just turn it into a winch truck. Just kidding. Hey guys, welcome to the video. Welcome to the channel. If you're new, I'm Brian, Hog Shooter Hot Rods. We're out in the hog barn today and we are blocking primer. How exciting, right? We are on the back of this old 35 Chevy. Back in here, the primer is sat for probably a week, and we are going to start blocking and getting stuff leveled out. If we need to reprime, we will. Hey, if we don't need to reprime, you know what comes after that? A little bit of paint. So, hey, hit the thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, sit back, let's get her done. So, as we're going through this, some guide coat. First thing you need to have. You get things cleaned up, or before you start doing anything, you put a little guide coat on there. You can see here where the guide coat still is. I've been blocking. We can see a little low spot here from some old boy finishing the body workout and digging a groove in it and then not fixing it. You can also see a little spot over here, one up here, where I've added a little bit of glaze to fill in some pinholes. It's important to understand you're probably not going to get it perfect with body filler. You're going to have some stuff that needs to be fixed, and by using guide coat on there and have a set of blocks, these are just Dura blocks. You can get them off of Amazon even. I'm using 11-inch long ones, and this is a full width. I think it's 2 3/4, and this one's like probably 1.5 inches wide, or maybe 1 1/4 inches, something. And you just try to suit the block to where you're using it. And when we block, you're gonna just at an angle all the time. If you start seeing them back and forth, you better go back over it at that angle. And that's gonna really help flatten things out, get it where you have that finish that you want after putting so much work into something. Man, we want it to look good when we're all done. I mean, we've all seen good and bad paint jobs finished out. We want this one to be super nice. So whatever it takes, we're going to do it to get that good looking finish when it's all done. So I'm going to continue on. I've kind of blocked from the bottom of that body line all around and across the back here. I do need to probably put a little glaze in this deep gouge here and work my way up. There you go. Right through here is probably where the rear reconstruction stopped, and then the rest of the body is super nice on this car, so it's not going to take a lot. We're just going to focus right now from here down and from this side to the other side of the car. I mean, we've got plenty to take care of on this thing. So I'm just going to keep going at it. You guys kick back. Give you guys a little sneak peek. Yeah, that is the actual temperature. So yeah, hey, whatever. It's summertime. It's supposed to be hot, right? We're gonna deal with it and just keep on keeping on with the block stamp. Oh, hey, so what's you guys' favorite part of sanding? I know you got to have a favorite part. Everybody loves to sand. It's not super exciting content, right? Hand going, sandpaper moving. I am getting there. I'll take you down here in just a second and show you guys what's been going on here while the temperature's been coming down. My favorite part of sanding is just getting this stuff to all feel smooth. No lumps in it, no bumps in it, no texture left in it. You know it's ready. Won't be long now. That's what the monkey said when the train ran over his tail. So just using 320, still using my Durablock. I did have to modify. I modified a stir stick. Works really good because that is super tight up under there. And just lots of time. You got to think, don't dig grooves in there. Use your angles. Pay attention to what's going on if that's possible for you. I don't know. All right, guys, here we are today. And I stayed up late last night, blocked half of the roof out most of the way. I'm working to knock this half of it down today. And hey, we'll be somebody. I got this side is the door's kind of rough cut, just the lower part. Still have to do around those beads. Those are really hard to do. I got the quarter most of the way done. Need to come in and edge sand a little bit. I hate skipping around, but I also like to make big progress. So I try to block as much as I can. And then we'll go back and we'll detail sand each individual panel and wipe down with wax and grease remover. Make sure everything is looking really, really nice. We're just using 320 still, and it seems to be cutting everything straight. I don't know if the camera will show the amount of shine. It's starting to get a little bit of a shiny appearance to it. Yeah, we'll get it cleaned up and show you guys, maybe with some wax and grease remover on it, what we're working with here. I just, yeah, it's all about perseverance. You got to wake up, get out, get after it to get it done, because these things don't finish themselves. Blocky, blocky is how we go. Sanding the primer off, don't you know? Just keep moving, blocking, and blocking some more. Alright guys, that's how long it takes to like go through and detail sand stuff. I got an old can of some cleaner here, just basically wax and grease remover in an aerosol form. I got the super soaker tip on it. I wanted us to look at this together here with a little cleaning action going on. Something like, as you do this, you want some satisfaction, right? I want to see, like, what the heck? How are we doing? Get out the way, chair. Can't keep it wet, fellas. I got the door shut, but it's still like upper 90s. This stuff's evaporating. As soon as I put it on, I've wiped it like 100 times. I don't know if that will even show in the camera. There's a couple of waves in the middle of the old roof up there. We're not gonna bother. It's all good. I've got this whole side pretty well down to the point where everything's been sanded. It's not 100% perfect, but it's all been gone over. Adjust your vision angle here. Like I say, she ain't perfect, but boy, it is pretty darn nice considering it's closer to 100 years old than it is brand new by far. So what do we do next? You know, it's tough to make a video about block sanding, guys. It is. There's a lot of it went down here. I've got this side all done. It's rough. I still have to go back and hit these middle ribs all the way front to back, get rid of all the orange peel texture, all that. This little body line right here, she's a pain to do. That's right, it's hard. But I got the other side looking good. I'll have to do that over here. And then I've got all the texture sanded out of this to about right there. Yeah, the rest of it needs the texture. This all needs to be blocked, period. I got our cowl flattened out. You know, looking back on it, maybe we should have masked this off. Quite a bit of sanding to get this overspray and stuff. And we want to be down to that primer. But I've got this blocked. This piece, I'm going to take it out, block sand it. We're actually gluing that in there. But I wanted to have it because it's a steel body. And steel bodies have them. The fiberglass ones come filled. We're building a street rod, but we're not going plumb crazy. So, rough blocking through here on the quarter. This door's rough blocked. This back corner, there's so much curve there. Got to do it all still yet. Back of it, she blocked out. Beautiful, fellas. All right, guys, so we're down to the small stuff here. You can see a little bit of guide coat right along the insides of these ribs in the roof. Got a little over here. The guide coat's a little bit lighter, so it may be hard to see on camera, but we gotta get all of that stuff blocked out smooth, and it is time consuming. I'm gonna set you guys up. Sorry for jostling you around. So I got a long block. I have a pretty rigid small block, and then I've got my trusty piece of a stir stick with some 320 sandpaper just kind of wrapped around it. And between all of these pieces, that's kind of what we use to block this out. So to start out, I want to be right up against the edge of this, and what I do is I take my sandpaper and I set it back even with the edge of the block. I don't want it hanging over much at all, if any. And that way I can sand right up against that line and my sandpaper doesn't cut into it and leave a little gouge there. So I do that first. That gets the edges looking nice. Then I'm going to set my block up here, and I'm just going to go down a few times, maybe one more. The tough part about dry sanding is, like, look at that. That clogs up your sandpaper almost immediately. So you got to only like 2 or 3 strokes and then clean that dude off with a brush. And I just kind of keep an eye on it. Hands are key. You can feel where the rough stuff is there, and just keep working at it. I like this block. I use my fingers underneath it so that I push it down and I can keep from digging a groove, just limiting it with my finger pressure there. And I'm going to go ahead and sand up over the corner because it's been primed and blocked and it's like starting to get sharp, and I don't really want sharp lines on those. So yeah, I just keep going with it. This one and this one are the last 2, and the whole roof is done. I'll take you guys in and show you the rest of the car. It just takes a long time to sand these because all these little lines and stuff. All right, so around here we got a few little spots to prime. I think there's maybe 6 places on the whole car body that just needed a little bit more. And you know, guys, don't ever be afraid to like go back and do some more work to make things better if you want to. I mean, it's the whatever project you're doing, you just got to suit what you're doing to that project. I do like to go through when I find a spot that needs more, just stick a piece of masking tape on it as you're going around the car. That way you know where you need to come back to, because by the time you get 3 days into block and primer, you're ready to just be done. So, no matter how far along you are in the project, sometimes you just have to come back and redo a little stuff. I started blocking this cowl panel and it had 5 or 6 little waves in it, so you can see what it ended up looking like. It just got a light little skim coat of some body filler, and it made everything all better. Yeah, it'll be good now. I went super low air pressure, so we got like some crazy texture in there, but it's wet enough. As it dries, a lot of that'll go away. And it's primer, we got to sand it anyway. Man, what a gorgeous sunset, right? I'm just going to walk you guys around, let you look. I've already started blocking over here a little bit. I got those spots up on the top. I have one here I did not guide coat. I went ahead and put more primer all the way along this lower section down here. Definitely needed it. It'll help it turn out better. And then I had one lower spot right here. So in one video, we've gone from just a raw primed car with tons of texture in it to something that is basically ready to mask up and get some sealer and color on. we're going to have to go back and re-block sand these areas where we're priming and whatnot. But hey, it's going really well so far to only have those few spots on this car. I think we're doing good. It does have a few little waves in it and different stuff, but hey, we're not building something to go to the Autorama with. We're building something to be really cool and be able to enjoy out, drive, and do whatever with. It'll just be a super nice driver. So I'm gonna cut the video there. Next time you see this car, hopefully we'll be masking it up, prepping it to spray some paint on, or getting the engine finished and ready to start. You know, you get in a mode every once in a while, and like I got the blocking tools out and started working on this. Hate to do any of this because of getting oil on that. So yeah, we could paint the body off and do the chassis separate, but that's just not the way it worked out, guys. I appreciate you watching. Thumbs up if you like the content. Leave me a comment if you didn't, or if I can do something different. And hey, we'll catch you guys on the next video.